Hello and welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. So I'm going to be continuing this timed event with the final 3 challenges now unlocked. So let's do this one first. It's actually right in front of me. It has been a few days, so I may be, having to get used to the controls again for this, because this is a little bit weird. So the idea is to pass from one to the next. Okay, it's not as weird as I thought it was, as far as the controls are concerned. I wasn't sure what I'd have to press. But it's all just with the X button, I believe. Okay, let's pass up to him. And then go to one of those. I just gotta keep an eye out for those guys that can see from far away. Or not even from far away, the guys that can see in general. What's that do? Oh, that creates a little smoke cloud. Whoops. I might have messed up. Let's do this. Okay, good. So now they're gonna run. And now I have a much better idea of where I'm supposed to go. Hey, you can't pass to these guys? That's a little bit unfortunate. Do I want to go down there? To be honest, I'm not sure exactly where I want to go. It almost feels like it would be better for me to go this way. Just because. But can I? That's the question. I'm not really seeing a way to get over there. Maybe from this? Oh, there we go. And then this guy will walk there. That will obstruct the vision of that one, maybe? No? Well, thankfully it didn't, immediately react, and I managed to reach it good. So now I just need to press and hold the X button until this fully charges. And there we go. Very, very nice. So go ahead and claim that. And next up is this. Though you can't tell how this works, it seems that the mystifying Mega Churl has also learned how to use wind currents, making it a tough customer, and not to be underestimated. I just remembered I need to make sure I know what I need to do for the reward, so use a plunging attack to knock down the mystifying Mega Churl, okay? The mystifying Mega Churl has come up with a way to summon the winds and generate large wind currents in the domain. When it is generating wind currents, use shockwaves from plunging attacks to more easily defeat the Mega Churl. So maybe it just gets knocked on its butt when you use anybody's plunging attack. But it does make sense for it to generate the wind current.
Allow me. My apologies.
So I'm just gonna whoops. There we go. Yep. Wait. Oh. Well, that's surprising. So you gotta time it with it landing on the ground while it's got that. Yeah, that's cool. I like how different each of these have been.
Hold the line.
You know, the first one with the causing it to slip. The second one where you basically batted the fruits back at it. If I remember correctly, it was some kind of fruit.
Stabilize.
Okay, now it's gonna do that again, and I've gotta just wait for it to land on the ground each time. Cool.
Solidify.
And repeat this whole process all over again. Hopefully I managed to do it in time. Gotta do that process one more time at least. I was expecting him to... Wow, I'm doing a pathetic amount of damage right now. Hey, come on. Do your thing. I should have waited. There we go. And now... I should have been building up Ayaka's elemental burst, but it's fine. I still got it. And claim all 3 of these prizes. Awesome. Now this. The mystifying Mega Churl is somehow getting stronger as you fight, and has gained control over various divine ingenuity domain features. Best to win quick and snap it out of its delusions. It's not healthy for a hilly churl to huddle with huddle hidden while its homies have fun, awaiting a front and a fray. Wow, that's hard to say. Anyways, use the unique characteristics of the battlefield and your opponent to knock the mystifying Mega Churl down. And then I have to complete it within 180 seconds. It was 120 seconds before, right? So 180 seconds definitely implies that it's going to be more difficult to do. But let's go to the challenge. Okay, yeah, it's in the domain again. So my best guess for this is that it'll use all the different types. Yeah, I think so. The mystifying Mega Churl has mastered every trick available in the domain. Nimbly adapt to the situation and counter. Yeah, so that's cool. I like that. Let's go ahead and start. So it might start off with the one where you have to cause it to slip. Oh no, it's starting with this one. And then it'll summon those things down, which you have to hit back towards it. And as you hit those back towards it, it'll get stunned. Okay. Whoops. For some reason I thought I still had that available to me. I didn't. Yeah, Kokomi's elemental skill. Okay.
Stabilize.
May as well build up Ayaka's elemental first a little bit. And here's this one. Cool.
Hold the line.
And now that I've done that, this ought to deal a decent amount of damage. Hopefully. Hey, get away from him.
Solidify.
Oh,
Whirling snow.
there we go. Which one is this? Oh, the plunging attack one. Yep, makes sense. I think this is pretty cool. I wonder if it's going to have its own new unique trick, though. Whoops. Or if it's just going to repeat the pattern all over again.
Embrace the ice.
We'll find out in a second, I suppose. Definitely a lot more
Take flight.
HP with this one. Go ahead and just keep attacking with her. There's no point in stopping. I just keep anticipating it, whoop, there we go.
Hold the line.
I keep anticipating it starting the, one of those sequences where it's doing something special while I'm in the middle of attacking it.
My apologies.
Whoops.
Take flight.
Okay. And this... Oh, this is actually the worst one I could get at this stage, I think. Because it takes the longest to do. But that's fine. Oh, good. Very, very good. I wonder if... yeah. So I got all 3 prizes. I was wondering if I did, but then I realized that, it said 180 seconds and I was under 3 minutes, so... anyways, that's the end of that timed event right there. And this one right here is nothing really special. It's just a normal overflowing mastery thing that I've gotten what feels like hundreds of times by now. Is there anything else I can do before I move on to Lyney's story quest? I guess that's something I could do. Anyways, so yeah, let's go ahead and unlock Lyney's story quest and get started on that. Right here, so unlock. There we go, get the quest. And talk to Charlotte, it says. The bustling streets of the Court of Fontaine seem more lively than usual. Why not take a walk around? So let's go ahead and select that.
Hey, isn't that Charlotte?
Uh-huh.
always running into her. What's she doing this time? Ooh, looks like street interviews. Paimon has a funny feeling that we might be in for an interesting time if we go check it out. Shall we?
Fair thing.
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Phantom Weasel.
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Huh? Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here.
Mm-hmm. Come on, there we go.
Perfect timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Phantom Weasel? Warning letter? So this is supposed to be like a play on Phantom Thief, right?
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it. Well, not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel, nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our Weasel targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations. He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
Oh, wow. Sounds like an absolute weirdo.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the Weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance. When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all.
So,
Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see.
I'm assuming that Lyney is going to be accused of being this phantom thief now. And we're gonna maybe have to defend him in the Opera Epiclese?
I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
I can't read that, unfortunately.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the Opera House, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance. What once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now? And what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Well, it's pretty obvious that the first one who died has a relative who's, like, trying to get some kind of revenge. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Something like that.
If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
He might steal all your favorite snacks. He might try to nab you, little Paimon.
Aww. But Paimon doesn't want to get kidnapped.
Ah, darn.
Well, he'd have to go through you first. You would stop him, right?
Okay, the people have spoken. It's clear that the public are very concerned about the Phantom Weasel's reappearance. Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though. Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the Weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Lyney!
It looks like he's performing some magic.
Magic. Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lyney! You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too! And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Are you serious? What sort of a deduction is that?
I mean, I don't think it's too big of a stretch, I suppose.
Relax! My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go! No time for delay!
The Forgotten Thief has started.
Wow, Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Oh, it's simple. Come closer and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out. You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. Now, that's not a good habit.
You can tell? Oh boy, you really can read my mind.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
Well, that was a nice little trick he used.
All right, got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
Hey, Lyney?
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
Obviously, we didn't believe it.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions. That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me. You guys, on the other hand? Let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Wow, that was a pretty good guess.
Wow, got it in one! Is this more of your trickery at work?
Wait, really? No trickery this time. It was pure luck. His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel. So, Lyney, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
I can figure out why, too.
Angry? Why?
Because he doesn't like people using magic for evil.
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
So maybe 2 reasons to be angry.
What are the chances? Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the Weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show.
That does suck.
But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day. This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Okay.
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
You're being far too modest, Lyney. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say, I don't care much for the comparison. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower, just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
Huh. Disappeared.
It's good!
Where'd it go?
That's the question. Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear.
So who'd they reappear on?
If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
A surprise? Let me see!
Huh? Oh my goodness, I didn't even see that.
It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time!
What an outstanding trick!
Huh.
Sorry, Lyney, it seems that my previous praise was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to watch, like, back to see if it was there the whole time, like as soon as it disappeared from his hand, because I thought I looked to see if it maybe appeared on Aether's clothing, and I didn't see it before, so...
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians. Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters. But you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice.
Like Aether and his sister being separated? I don't know.
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time. But it'll have to wait until this phantom weasel business is behind us.
Well noted. In that case, this brings us to the end of our interview. I, for one, am looking forward to the final showdown between you and the thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time. But let's hope the phantom weasel is caught by then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
Okay, see ya, Charlotte.
So, Lyney, are you gonna tell us how you did that flower trick now?
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
Aww. Well, magicians are entitled to their secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done. You feel it too, right? So itchy.
The Phantom Weasel. You sure you'll be able to handle him? Aether just straight up ignoring Paimon.
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
I have to say, this is not the direction I expected to go in. I was really, truly expecting for Lyney to be accused. But I'm glad that it's going in this direction.
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians too! Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done! Shall we go for it?
We'll help you with your investigation. So, what's your plan?
The first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal.
Makes sense to me.
But if he wasn't the weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there. We should make a move. Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
Okay. There she is.
You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
It's been a while, Lynette. We're working as Lyney's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel. Well, we won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
I wonder who those two people were. Right over here. These two.
A lot of people here today, huh? When did this cemetery get so popular?
Same thoughts here. What's going on?
I got distracted by something that happened on my computer. Give me a second. Just a notification of some kind. Let's talk to Lynette.
I'll wait for you here and see if Gemma shows up.
Okay. Now let's talk to this person.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiance? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot.
So that's a really weird way to refer to somebody, isn't it? As Caesar's fiance? Huh. Weird.
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no secret why, either. She's heartsick.
Yeah, this guy is really, really suspicious.
Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every week to clean his grave. Often, she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself. I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again. She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiancé all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow. Their love must have been really strong.
I'll bet. Caesar's reputation fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years.
So if Caesar was innocent, then Gemma would be really upset, right? Like if she knew he was innocent. So that could be what this is all about.
I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if it does, I'm sure Caesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly. If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her.
Yeah, you're still suspicious to me.
Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay. Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking some other people.
All right, well, thanks for sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
You're welcome. I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
Let's talk to him again.
A lot of people find cemeteries bleak and oppressive, but not me. I find the silence gives me a sense of peace, and something about being in the presence of the dead and buried sort of puts all of life's woes in perspective.
Okay, let's talk to these two again.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
You're kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't. But what if, just hypothetically, I mean, what if this weasel's the real deal and Caesar was framed?
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew was a good guy. He gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon thief or something? Give me a break.
I'm now really suspicious of all three of these people.
Oh, please. Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, that gosh darn lousy son of a, you think you know a guy, or words to that effect.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Sorry to interrupt.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
You've come to the right people. Yep, I was there. Back when Caesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside.
Huh.
I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes, he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
Huh. He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later.
Now that's an interesting theory.
As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the Weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more. I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time. No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
So that's Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong? Wait, it looks like she's injured. Come on, let's see if she's okay.
Okay, obviously that injury is gonna play a big role, right? What the? That was weird.
Hi there. You're Gemma, right?
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid, we mean no harm. It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
My name is Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this. I promise you can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the Weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Got it. All right, sorry for disturbing you.
So I'm guessing Lyney's thinking that somebody planted, or rather the real Weasel planted the stolen objects onto Caesar's corpse or whatever, and you basically framed him. But, you know, that's just a guess.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
There's something fishy about all the people over there.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
Perhaps she simply doesn't trust us, which is fair.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us. In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
Okay, so let's go talk to these people again very fast.
Oh, Caesar. Were you or weren't you the Phantom Weasel?
What about this guy?
Gemma's hurt, you say? Now that you mention it, I did see her getting into a heated argument a while back. Maybe someone who hates Caesar was taking it out on her. People can be unbelievable sometimes.
Is this, I was guessing that might be his grave, but it doesn't seem to indicate as much.
A lot of people find cemeteries bleak and oppressive. I find the silence gives me
he's repeating himself. So let's wait until the next morning and see what Paimon has to say. Nothing to say, Paimon, really. Okay. Let's make some wishes then. Okay, so I can make wishes on either of those, and I think I'm going to go with his. Okay, I got a copy of Ningguang. 4-star sword. And a copy of Xinyan, which I don't really need. Is there any other wishes I can make? Yeah, 7 here. Another 4-star weapon. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get this treasure chest, and then after I get this treasure chest up here, I'm going to be stopping. So let's beat these mechas up very fast.
Whirling snow! Sakura swirl!
And there's 1 down, 2 down. Wow, that went a lot faster than I expected it to go. Usually these fights take at least a few minutes.
Is another man's
Although
dream.
nothing else popped in, that's probably why. Well, I say a few minutes, but more like, you know, at least a minute and a half or so. And you know what, there's another treasure chest over here. Let's get that one very fast. And then I'll stop for sure.
Order.
And besides, that treasure chest that I just got only had blueprints in it for the teapot. And as much as I like, you know, getting that stuff, you know, blueprints and whatnot, I prefer actual treasure. So,
Unsolicited.
there we go.
And all the more valuable.
Anyways, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Next time I play, I will be continuing Lyney's, you know, story quest here. It wants me to rendezvous with him. I'm assuming back in Fontaine. Yeah, right over there. So, yeah. See you next time. And thanks again. Bye-bye.